Hello everybody, it's Nick Falgott. Welcome to a very special, and by special I mean sweaty, edition of Drafting with Nick Falgott. I don't know, drafting with Operation Bad Habit. I haven't thought of a catchy name yet. I just went for a walk. It's finally gotten nice around here, so I'm kind of sweating a little bit. You don't need to know that, but no, you can't unknow it if you want to keep watching. This pack has some stuff in it. It's kind of a bummer to see both splicers here. It's a pretty weak pack overall. There's the Blade Splicer. Master Splicer I think is normally first pick, but that one is a Blade Splicer. There's an Exarch or Artillerize. Those are the cards I would consider first picking out of this pack, even though I don't love Artillerize, as you've heard. Blade Splicer is going to be my pick. It's kind of a bummer to pass Master Splicer. But I played against the Splicer deck yesterday. I had Blade, Master, and at least 2 Sensor Splicers, and a Golem Artisan, and it was just disgusting. I didn't like it. I didn't win. I didn't post that draft. So we're passing the Master Splicer, the Exarch. The Verdict might go pretty soon, so hopefully, I mean, we're not going to table very much in this pack. I like this Vault Scourge back. I kind of like Vault Scourge more than my compatriots. I cannot think of a reason to pass Jorkadine. I mean, I can. This pack has some good stuff. There's an uncommon missing. There's still a Blinding Soul Eater and a Legionnaire in this stupid pack. That is such a bummer, but this guy is such a beating. I am fully willing to commit to the white-red Metalcraft plan, especially starting with a Blade Splicer. If I'd taken, like, you know, something else. But, I mean, all the other cards in this pack are actually white, too. I mean, like, taking a Soul Eater and passing Jorkadine just leaves you with the same problem. Though we might be, I mean, there's a Suture Priest here too. I think I'm going to be fighting for white in the second pack, so something to keep in mind. Slag Fiend. There's a card I don't know very much about. There's also a Remember the Fallen, and there's also a Razor Swine. Or I could take this Mutagenic Growth, I guess. I think Remember the Fallen is nuts. Like top 5 common material, and I don't actually have an artifact yet. Although I would kind of, I mean, taking 3 straight rares is a great way to start a draft normally. This guy can be big. I need to pick up more artifacts. I could end up more red and less white. But I have 2 white cards already. Yeah, I think I'll just cut white and take this Remember the Fallen. Suture Priest. But there's a Blinding Soul Eater, so we'll grab that. This actually might be the latest Blinding Soul Eater I've ever seen, which is, you know, probably about right. This card's great. Nothing much else in this pack. These Scourges get a lot better with Jorkadine. I'd like this Priest. I think it's unlikely we'll table anything. We could try out this Due Respect, but it's sort of like a Telgelad Defiance. It's most of the time just going to cycle, and then the times it does interesting things for you are going to be the exception and not the rule. So we've got 2-ish artifacts between the Splicer putting an artifact into play and the Soul Eater being a literal artifact, which is good with our Remember the Fallen. Got 3 3-cost cards. We got a, I mean, he's not a bomb. He's a build around me bomb is a term I'm going to throw around here. In the right deck, he is actually just nuts. This pack hasn't got much for us. I'm going to be a little more willing than normal to play Hovermere, but I think I'm always willing to play Gremlin Mine. Although I've seen it sit dead and unused on a lot of boards, but I guess that's fine. Blighted Agent and Glycoscorn also both still in the pack. Haven't seen a red card I would consider taking since Jor, but you can splash red for Jor and pick up a different second color. I've only really passed Artillerize and Slag Fiend, and I don't think Slag Fiend is a snap pick by any means. But I'm happy to have the mine. You know, most of the time it's going to have some utility anyway. And if it just sits on the board, it just sits on the board. Huh. I think it's between Cathedral Membrane and Hovermere. It's definitely not the Superion. Although, he's pretty cool. But I can't cast him. I guess you could make an argument for the Probe. I don't love Cathedral Membrane. I don't love Hovermere either. But I think that's going to be the pick. At least he can attack. Not so high on this card. We're going to have some artifact removal for it if we run into it. And I just like, you know, galvanizers make this guy better. Splicer or Whip Flare? I'm going to try Whip Flare. I think it's pretty good. Oh, there's a Vital Splicer here? Why? Well, I'm taking that then. Never mind. That's a good one. This guy's good, but, you know, green will help us splash for Jor. Trespassing Soul Eater's here too? I think I just want the Vital Splicer though. Yeah, we'll try, haven't actually gotten to play with him yet. I don't know if that's a sign that it's open, but it's definitely, you know, I like it being there. I'll take this artifact. Trample's pretty good with a 3-0 bonus. This is bad. This is fine. Most of this pack's bad. This is the best card left, but double blue is not ideal. Obviously, the trainee tabled, as did the Hovermere. Jorkadine turns on the trainee. We're going to want to run some equipment, I think. I don't want to run 2 Hovermere. Not prepared for that. This Fault Scourge table, which is great. Another dumb little artifact to turn on Jor. Ugh. I'm going to just disrobe entirely. That's something you wanted to know. Infinite numbing doses getting past. This guy's probably okay, but I kind of like Vault Scourge, I'm not going to lie. This guy tabled? Interesting. Bad. Slightly better, but still bad. Fine. Potentially interesting. I'm going to try Slag Fiend. Who knows if we're actually playing green. I think we're definitely... I'll take this from somebody. So many numbing doses. Yeah, that's a red card. Don't want the relic, even though... even though... How many times can I enlarge this guy over the course of this draft? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts. Not good, but oh well. Highlight it. Just grab it. Hide land. So, after one pack, kind of like where we're at, no removal. But we got this guy. I always feel optimistic after the Phyrexia pack. It's because there's so many playables. I would be happy to cut these green cards if no more green comes along. Or if there's red and white freely flowing. And there's red. That's not a close pick. And it's a weak pack. I'm not going to get this back, which is unfortunate. I think the Prowler's going, the Priests will go, the Welder, the Flenser might. So these 4, 5, 6, 7, that's not in order, so we could get the Sentinel back. Or, I mean, this Predation could go. I mean, we might get the Sentinel back. Pie in the Sky, we would get this Master's Call back, but more, I mean, we more likely to see the Priests than the Master's Call. Nonetheless, I will take the bomb. There is a Master's Call or a Blight Widow. Or those are really the 2 picks. I could take this War Driver, I suppose. I think I want Master's Call. Instant Metalcraft, but this guy seems pretty sweet. And I do want to be base red-white. This card is good against us, but hopefully we'll get a way to remove it or 2. There is a common missing. I think I do just want this Master's Call, though. This guy has bad synergy with Slag Fiend, that's for sure. I could take the War Driver. I could take Blight Widow, but I want to be red now. So I end up splashing white. I think splashing white for these 3 cards is fine. But this and 4, yeah, I think I'll just take Master's Call and plan to all but abandon the green at this juncture. And Quilled Slagworm doesn't make me regret that particularly. I am going to start making artifact picks here. Prioritizing them. I don't like this. I'm not as sold on this guy as I once was. He's cute, but he's not that interesting. Peace Strider, Spin Engine, and Flare Husk are all viable options, I think. You want Peace Strider if we're actually not going to run the green cards. We don't actually have any 4-drops right now. Spin Engine, something we can... Oh, come on! Well, I'm loath to pass a Fang. And there's a Decimator Web in the pack, but other than that, there's really not much, so... Maybe we're splashing after all. Oop, whoop. Whee! Get out of here, War Report. Get out of here, Land. Didn't take that long. I'm going to hide this Viren. Take this Fang Marauder. May or may not play this guy. Depends on if we get any artifact. I think if I'm splashing green, I might as well splash for the Vital Splicer. Run the old 3-7-7 split. Really happy to get to play with this guy. He's the rare I most wanted to play with in New Phyrexia looking at the set. This pack has not very much, but it's got a Mirror Sire. So now I would like a Galvanizer. Or a Mirror Smith. There's still a Geyser here and a Tine Shrike, but I guess Ringleader wouldn't have been the worst, but I've been noticing that a lot of my drafts are light on the early game. So, trying to fix that a little bit with this draft. We're up to 7 artifacts, which is not a ton. 7 especially, but also the 2 splicers make artifacts. We may not run this one, and so does the Master's Call. So we're in a pretty decent spot for Metalcraft, especially because the Scars pack is chock full of artifacts that we would like to run. Definitely don't want Magnetic Mine. Don't particularly want Ardent Recruit. I will grab this Rusted Slasher, which has fine synergy with the Slag Fiend. Passing Infinite Geysers. So we're passing blue just hand over fist in both packs here. Good Lord. Is it worth it to hack Serum Raker? Or should I take the Ringleader? Another card that's terrible with Slag Fiend. Not that we need to be building around Slag Fiend. Slag Fiend and Jorkadine don't have particularly good synergy to begin with. I guess the Ringleader is potentially more useful than this Serum Raker, although we don't have a lot of ways to deal with or remove the Serum Raker at what I call the moment. Obviously way better than the Ringleader, obviously insane with Jor, and a 2-drop artifact who will not ever get to fly in this deck. We got a couple flyers, but they're not big flyers. I will take Concussive Bolt. Ooh, it did table. Awesome. That works out really incredibly well. Pie in the sky. Now I would love a Galvanizer. Nathosaur is not going to make the cut. Banishment Decree is a slight color signal. I think I'm just going to take this Mirror Metal away from somebody. There's another Mirror Metal, but there's also an Ogre Resistor. And this is a pack that looks familiar. I'll just grab the 3/3. Yeah, sure. Hide ya. Hide ya. And planes. So got some artifact options here. Got these splicers, got these Master's Calls. We're in a pretty good spot.